behind your buckle. In this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how you can apply a gradient across a stroke. You can also apply it along a stroke as well. But okay, first thing to do, just quickly go over to line segment tool, and I could of course use any other part as well, but I'm just going to use that. And there's the first, obviously could apply just a standard like that, but here's a gradient applied to it. So what you can do, just quickly go to the gradient panel, just go window and gradient, that's the key thing there, and you'll see there's some options along here. Now there's apply gradient within stroke, there's a long stroke, so you can just apply it there, so vary it, and also apply a gradient cross stroke. So there it is, a cross stroke. Now what you can also do with this, of course you can go up to radial, apply that as well, so that's another option, creates a slightly different design as well. And what you can also do, just go over here to variable width profile, so you can actually create some very interesting designs just by simply going to the width profile like that one, and you can build this up in about thousands of ways. So you can actually just duplicate that design. So say you've got this lovely little cone shape, and just simply just drag down there, and you can sort of build up an image very quickly. Now just going to remove that one, and I'm going to remove that. Now I'm going to go with the very basic one right at the top, but you can also of course use the width tool. There's the width tool, and you can just go along there and vary it. So you can just create sort of like spaceship designs, petals, whole range of very unusual shapes. But what I'm going to do next is actually, that's a pretty nice gradient, but you can also work even more using the appearance palette or panel, to use the current terminology, panel. Now window and appearance, that's the key thing. And while you've got that selected, what you can do then is just go up to there, and I'm just going to go duplicate item. So now I've got two. I've got one on top. Now I'm going to work with this one. Again, here the key thing is the gradient, and what you can do, you can just move that along there, change the colour. Don't have to go with that colour, so you just double click on that, maybe make it blue or yellow, brighter colour than that, and move that there, maybe move that around there, have that around the edge. But it doesn't look particularly great. It's not much different from the previous one. But what you can do, of course, you can just, with the stroke, you can obviously modify the stroke. So you can actually turn around and say, maybe have a different one for that one. So you can actually have that, it's combined, it's a single part. So you've actually got this build up of designs all within the actual design. So you can actually just select one of those, obviously, and use that combined. Now, also what you can do, and I'm just going to go back now, you can of course save this as well. So if you say like you find something you really like, you can of course save it off to the libraries. That's the CC libraries, which if you can't find is window and libraries, key thing there, as well as symbols. So if you've got symbols, what you can do, just simply drag that into the symbols, click OK, and then what you can do, you just use it as symbol, use the symbol tool, spray just there, just spray loads and loads of this design across the artboard, or whatever you want to do. Now I'm just going to go undo that, don't want that, so, and also undo that. Just put it back to basic one there. Now key thing with this, because I'm using the appearance, is that you can use here opacity. So you can just click there and you say normal and darken. So you can actually now build up much more interesting designs just by using, say, like difference. So you've got this sort of unusual design. Also, what you can do, because it's there, you can just turn around and say, well, location, don't want to have it there, I can move it around, change the opacity, which you can still modify this to make even more unusual designs. Of course, you can also just do it the other way as well. Apply a long stroke. So now what you can see, you've actually got this lovely combination of design. And of course and this tool particularly is a live tool, a line segment. So you can actually just drag that around. Also you can of course apply effects and much more. And again, just save that over to symbols and that's what I'm going to end at this point. So just apply it over there, save it as a symbol, just remove that, and then, as I say, just go over to sprayer tool, which you just select there, and just drag over there, and you can apply the designs very quick and easy to create quite a colourful and unusual background. And of course you can rotate them and resize them as well. Don't have to keep them just one size. So that's just the gradient tool, and it's just using, say, just a combination of cross stroke and a long stroke. Hope you found this of interest. Thank you much.